was really fast. I didn't realize that, I was spending so much time flying already. And I admit it was very unhealthy. Actually, I've been thinking about doing this video for quite some time now. I think I posted it already. I've enumerated everything in the last few months. The reason why I left my job as a flight attendant. By the way, I'd like to just give you an introduction about myself. For those who are new here, by the way, my name is Pia. I used to be a flight attendant for over 10 years, and now we're back here in the Philippines, and hopefully for good. Actually, we consider ourselves retired OFW because we really wanted to maximize our time with our parents, because our parents are actually getting older already, and we don't want to miss the opportunity to spend time with them. And aside from that, I guess it's time for us to grow as well. Okay, most of us Filipinos, especially working abroad, when we know that we are already earning a lot of money, we become so complacent and we become so comfortable with our lifestyle that we forget about going back home. And this is the reality. We really have to think about our retirement, and if you can retire as early as possible, the better, because time is really very precious, and you'll never know what's gonna happen next. And it's just sad that still a lot of the Filipino community overseas are, I would say, thinking of retiring too late already. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but you have to realize that you still are gonna go home one day, and mahirap mag-umpisa ulit, especially here in the Philippines, and you need more strength with that. You need to take the courage and the strength. And if you are going home and if you are starting over again and you don't have so much strength and patience and all that, it will be a bit difficult for you. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it is difficult, because for us, just want to let you know, I am 38 years old. My husband and I are 38 years old. It is really difficult for us still to actually manage our business. Everything is new to us, so probably that is the reason why. But I'm glad that we are doing it at an early stage of our lives, because we know that we still have the time, just in case one day we realize that we can't really do this, then at least we can say that we tried, and that if we really want to go back overseas, then we still can. But just imagine if you're already in your 50s or 60s. I'm not saying that's already very old, but the physical capabilities is a little bit different already when you're still younger. And say you come back in the Philippines and you decide to go back because your business didn't work, or whatever plans that you have didn't work, then when you decide to go back to overseas, then probably it will be a little harder for you. Okay, that's just another story. Okay, so now let's go back to why I really we decided to go back here in the Philippines. Back in 2011, I moved to Singapore to work and how you call this, oil and gas company. It was just an office job. It was also a blessing in disguise, actually, because I've been applying for Qatar Airways. By the way, I used to work with Qatar Airways. I've been applying for this airline for 2 years and I never got any good result. So when I got hired in Singapore, that's when the time that I was able to apply again for Qatar Airways as a flight attendant. February 2011, I was there for 1.5 years in Singapore, and then after that, I moved to Qatar to work as a flight attendant. In total, it was 12 years, but 10 years, over 10 years, to be exact, 10 years and 8 months with Qatar Airways. I started as a economy cabin crew for 2 years, and then I became a premium class. We call ourselves premium class cabin crew when we are working in the business class already. And then I became a supervisor for the small aircraft, or for economy supervisor. I became supervisor when I was 6 years in the company. And then after the pandemic, I was able to get the highest rank of a cabin crew, which is the flight purser. So that is the last cabin crew rank with Qatar Airways. So with my 10-year journey with Qatar Airways, I was able to reach at least the top level of the management. But anyway, why I still left the company even if I was enjoying and I was living my dream? To be really honest, I missed the lifestyle, but I would say it is also very superficial. People would always think that on the outside we are living a life, okay? But you don't realize that when you're already there working, you work like, let's say, 16 hours straight without, sometimes you don't even get to sleep, because we're humans. There are days that you really cannot sleep. And then you go on a nice layover, but you won't even be able to enjoy the layover because you're very, very tired. So most of the time, let's say, I'll give you an example. One of my favorite destinations is Rome. So I go to Rome, let's say it's only 6-hour flight from Doha. But besides that 6-hour flight, you have to think about your call time, the time your transportation comes to your place, and then to the hotel. So you have to think about the moment you wake up, and then you get up, you prepare yourself, and then they pick up. I normally wake up 3 hours before the I would say reporting time, and then another 3 hours depending on how fast you actually can finish your job. You already spent 12 hours of your day and you only get paid 6 hours. At first it was really fun. At first I would say it was fun and I was living my life. The time I realized that I was actually tired already was when I turned 5 years with the job. And I think that's what they always say, it is a very crucial year. But then something happened in between. So I got a break for 1 month and a half. So I was sent home because I lost my passport. So of course you can't travel without a passport. So I was given a break. So the thought of quitting disappeared. So at that point, after I took a break, I had the energy again and I got the inspiration again to go back to flying. Until I reached 10 years. Actually 10 years and 8 months to be exact, and I didn't really realize time was really fast. I didn't realize that, I was spending so much time flying already. And I admit it was very unhealthy. And I guess it was time for us to also move back or look for other options. And as for my husband as well, he worked in Qatar for 9 years. And for him as well, he wanted change. Yeah, so we were on the same page. The moment I realized that I wanted to also have a change, yeah, it was just like that. We said, okay, this is enough and we have to go back to the Philippines. Good thing, of course, it didn't just happen like that. Okay, we also prepared ourselves for the possibilities because you know how hard it is here in the Philippines. So since our parents are depending on us, we we took the courage to build an apartment, a 3-door apartment, and after it got finished, we went back home. But of course, we also have other plans aside from just the apartment building business because we know that it will never be enough. So we still have other income streams, which is now we are building. I mean, we have the poultry farm, which is also giving us decent amount of income. But again, it's still not enough. So that's why we took a loan and got into a trucking business. So now we have 3 income streams. But again, I feel like it's still not enough because our expenses are really, really high. It is because we are running a business and I never really thought it would be this hard. But anyway, going back to the story. Yeah, so we decided to go back home because our priorities change as well. We are already on our late 30s and we still don't have a child. We also want to prioritize that stage in our life. Aside from spending time with our families, we also want to build our own. And also, I think it is already time for growth. It is a bit scary, but it's a very bold decision to finally move back to your home country without knowing if you will succeed or not. But we always have this mindset where we could say that kailangan mag-survive because otherwise, if we always have this mindset that it's okay because anyway we can always go back overseas, then probably we will not push ourselves for our business. Mahirap siya gawin kung marami kang options. For me, the option that we should be having is only just one, which is just be here in the Philippines. If ever we would want to go out and be overseas, probably it will just be for travel and enjoyment, but not for work. So yeah, it was really hard for us to decide to go back to the Philippines because a lot of our friends in Qatar actually they resigned, but they didn't go back to the Philippines. Instead, they went to either US or other places. So basically, they just got employed with other companies in other fields. So for us, we want to build our own business back home. And I'm also glad that we have a support system, because my brother and my sister here in the Philippines, my older brother and my older sister, they all have a business here in the Philippines. So probably I would say the influence is also a big thing, and we can get support from them as well. We get pieces of advice from them. So yeah, I guess this video is already getting longer. So yeah, it is a bit informal, guys, but I just want to share this thought with you.